Welcome to Zimbabwe School Examination Council, Mathematics Paper 2, November 2025. On the instructions, the most important instruction has to do with a degree of accuracy. You should round off your figures to 3 significant figures. With that being said, we can start with number 1. 1A, the universal set has subset P and Q such that universal set has elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 10. P has elements 2, 3, 5, and 7. And Q is a set of factors of 42. So we have to list the factors of 42 here. So factors of 42, we have 1, and we have 2, we have 3, 6, and 7. These are the factors of 42. The first question, part 1, list all elements of P intersection Q. So we are looking at elements which exist in P and Q. So what we can immediately see is that the first element, which is at the intersection, we have 2, we have 3, and 7. On part 2, find number of elements P union Q complement. This means we want the number of elements which are neither in P nor in Q. So let's list those elements. So the first one, which is not in both, it's 10. Followed by 9. Followed by 8. And 4. So the count of these numbers is 4. Move on to the next question. The Venn diagram shows the universal set at 3 subsets A, B, and C. The number of elements in each region of the set is shown. Number of elements in A is 22. The first question is saying we need to find the value of X. So we're saying the total count of all the elements in A is 22. So if we add all these ones, we should get a 22. So it becomes like an equation whereby we are saying X plus 2 plus 4 plus 6. This should give us 22. So X plus 12 should give us 22. So X is 10. Then the next question is saying number of elements A intersection C. So A intersection C, we have 4 and 6, isn't it? So 4 plus 6 will give us 10. Number 2, algebra questions in ZIMSEC. The first question, part A. The first question, part A, is saying expand open bracket 3 minus 2y squared. So this means that we have 3 minus 2y multiplied by 3 minus 2y. So on the next step, we're going to say 3 open bracket 3 minus 2y. Then we're going to say minus 2y open bracket 3 minus 2y. Then we expand here. 3 times 3, that's 9. 3 times minus 2y, it's minus 6y. Minus 2y multiplied by 3, that's minus 6y. Minus 2y times minus 2y, we get plus 4y squared. So if we arrange in a ascending orders of coefficients of powers of y, we have 4y squared. Here we group like terms, minus 6y, we get minus 12y, then plus 9. So we are done with the expansion problem. Let's move on to the next question, which is part B. So part B, it has to do with factorization. So we are given 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. So the first thing that we do, we multiply the coefficient of x squared with 1. So we are going to multiply 2 with 1, then we get 2 here. Then we are looking for two numbers. Multiply those two numbers, we get 2. Add the two numbers, we get minus 3. So the factors, it's minus 2 and minus 1. So we expand our expression by saying 2x squared minus 2x, since minus 2 is one of the factors, then minus 1x, since minus 1 is another factor, then plus 1. Then we factor out here, we factor out the highest common factor, which is 2x. So we're going to factor out 2x. Then we end up with x minus 1. Then here we factor out minus 1. Then we end up with x minus 1. Then our final solution is x minus 1. Then we also have 2x minus 1. Then our last question, which is part C, it's an equation. So we are given a 3, open bracket, a 2x minus 1, a minus a 2 minus x, which is equals to 7. So we start by expanding the brackets. 3 times 2x, we get 6x. 3 times minus 1, we get minus 3. Minus times 2, we get minus 2. Minus times minus x, we get plus x. Then from there, we group like terms. 6x plus x, we get 7x. Minus 3 minus 1, we get minus 5. Equals to 7. Then we take a minus 5 the other side. So it will go and add. So we get a 7x is equals to 12. Divide both sides by 7. Divide both sides by 7. So our x is equals to 12 over 7. We move on to the next question, which is a simultaneous equation. So the first thing that we want to do here on the simultaneous equation is to write the first equation just as it is. So it's 3m plus n is equals to minus 5. Then on the second equation, let's arrange it, starting with m. Then we take minus 3n the other side, so it becomes plus 3n. Then this is equals to 1. The coefficient of m on the first equation is 3. The coefficient of m on the second equation is 1. So we multiply the first equation with the coefficient of m from the second equation, which is 1. And we multiply the second equation with the coefficient of m from the first equation, which is 3. So here we just invert, isn't it? Then we multiply each and every term with 1 on the first equation. So there's no change. We'll still get a 3m plus n. This is equals to minus 5. On the second equation, we multiply each and every term with 3. So we get a 3m plus 9n being equals to 3. Then we subtract the first equation and the second one. 3m minus 3m is 0. We just put a dot. N minus 9n, we get minus 8. And then minus 5 minus 3, we get minus 8. Then we divide both sides with minus 8. Divide both sides with minus 8. Then we get our n is 1. Now that we know that our n is 1, to find our m, we just use the second equation. So m is equals to 1 minus 3, 1 minus 3n. Then we substitute where there is n, we're going to substitute with 1. Then our m is equals to minus 2. So let's move on to the next question. On number 3, the question reads, a vendor bought 120 cabbages at 7,200 for sale. The vendor sold all the cabbages at $45 each because the market was flooded. Calculate the percentage loss made by the vendor. So for us to calculate the percentage loss made by the vendor, these are the steps that we take. The first thing that we do here is we calculate the total sales value or sales revenue that the vendor is going to get after selling 120 cabbages at $45 each. So we just say 120 times 45. Then we get 5,400. So the vendor, after selling his 120 cabbages, he got 5,400. Then we're going to calculate the loss which the vendor made. To calculate the loss which the vendor made, we just say 7,200 minus 5,400. So the vendor made a loss of 1,800. Now to calculate the percentage loss, we're going to say the loss which the vendor made, which is 1,800, all over the starting value, which is 7,200 multiplied by 100. So this would give us a percentage of 25%. So the vendor made a loss of 25% because the market was flooded. Part B, the exchange rate between the Zimbabwean dollar and the United States of America dollar on a certain day was ZW 85 to $1. Express US 170 in Zimbabwe dollars on that day. So to solve this question, we simply multiply 85 multiplied by 170. So 85 multiplied by 170 we get 14,450. 14,450 ZWL. Let's move on to part C. Calculate the simple interest if 6,000 is invested at 7.5% per annum for a period of 5 years. So the formula for simple interest is I is equals to P RT all over 100. So the interest I is equals to P, which is 6,000, times R, which is 7.5, times T, which is 5, all over 100. So I is equals to 2,200 2,250. Part D, a bank offers loans to farmers at compound interest of 4.5% per annum. Calculate the total amount to be paid by the farmer who borrows 45,000 for a period of 2 years. So we use the formula A is equals to P, open bracket 1 plus R over 100 to the power T. Then A is equals to 45,000, open bracket 1 plus R, which is the rate, which is 4.5, all over 100 to the power T, which is to the power 2. So our A will end up being 49,141.125. Let's move on to the next question. Number 4, it is given that a matrix 3A42 plus 2 open bracket minus 2 4B minus 5 is equals to minus 115 10C. Find A. So to find A, what we need to do, we need to compare things which are at corresponding positions. So we compare A with 4 and 15. So if it's in an equation, it becomes A, then we're going to say minus 2 times minus 2, which is minus 4. This is equals to, this is equals to 15. Okay, so we take for the other side, A will be equals to 19. Okay, so to find B, we need to compare things which are at corresponding positions. So we're going to compare this with B and with 10. So it's 2 A plus, so it's going to be 2 times B. This is equals to 10. So if we simplify, we get 2B. Then we take 2 the other side. 10 minus 2 is 8. We divide both sides by 2, divide both sides by 2. So our B will be equals to 4. And now to find the value of C, again, we compare things at corresponding positions. We compare things at corresponding positions. So to find the value of C, we are going to compare 2, minus 5, and C. So it's going to be 2, then 2 times minus 5, it's minus 10. This is equals to C. So our C is simply equals to minus 8. So on B, the values we should have compared. It's 4, it's B, and it's 10. So it's 4 plus 2B. 4 plus 2B equals to 10. So it's 2B is equals to 6. So B is equals to 3. Let's move on to part B. Let's move on to part B. Matrix M 6, 3, 1, 3 and matrix N 7, minus 3. Find Mn. So to find Mn, we say row multiplied by column. So matrix M is 6, 3, 1, 3. Then matrix N, it's 7 minus 3. So we just multiply row multiplied by column. So first of all, we're going to multiply a 6 times 7. Then we're going to say plus a 3 times minus 3. Then we get the first value. So this is 42 minus 9. So it's 33. So the first value is 33. For us to get the second value, again, we say row, which is 1, 3, and column 7 minus 3. So we say open bracket 1 times 7 plus open bracket 3 times minus 3. So 7 minus 9 minus 2. So after multiplying Mn, this is the matrix that we get. Part 2, they're saying find the inverse of M. Find the inverse of M. Find the inverse of M. So for us to find the inverse of M, the first thing that we do is we need to find the determinant. So M, initially M is 6, 3, 1, 3. For us to find the inverse of M, the first thing that we do is we find the determinant. So to find the determinant of M, we simply say, open bracket, 6 times 3 minus 1 times 3. So we get the determinant as 15. Now to write the inverse of M, we say 1 over determinant, so it's 1 over 15. Then open bracket, we have to swap 6 and 3, so it's 3 and 6. Then we introduce negative on 1 and 3. So this is the inverse. This is the inverse of M. Hence or otherwise, find matrix a P for which MP is equals to 3 minus 6 minus 4 minus 1. So here we've been given MP. So for us to find P, we have to multiply with the inverse of M like this. So if we multiply with the inverse of M, this M is going to cancel with this M, so we'll be just left with P. So to find the value of P, we just take MP, which is 3 minus 4 minus 6 minus 1. Then we multiply with the inverse. Our inverse, 3 minus 3, minus 1, 6, then 1 over 15. Okay, so next, what we simply need to do here, we need to multiply saying row times column. So we're going to start by saying 3 times 3 plus minus 6 times minus 1. Then we go to the next one. We say 3 times minus 3 plus minus 6 times 6. Then we go to the one underneath. We're going to say minus 4 times 3 minus 4 times 3 plus minus 1 times minus 1. Then we go to the other one, which is underneath again. We're going to say minus 4 times minus 3 plus minus 1 times 6. Then if we simplify our matrix, we end up with 9 plus 6, which is 15. Here it's minus 12, plus 1, we get minus 11. Then here it's minus 9, minus 12, minus 36. Minus 9, minus 36, we get minus 35. Then here we get plus 12, minus 6, we get 6. Then remember, we still have 1 over 15 here. Then, so if we put 1 over 15 into each and every value, we end up with this being 15 over 15, this being minus 11 over 15, this being minus 35, minus 35 over 15, and this being 6 over 15. Yeah, let's move on to the next question. Number 6, simplify. Give the answer as a fraction in its lowest terms. So here what we do, we say BODMAS. So we consider brackets first. So let's simplify what's in the bracket. So we want to simplify 2.5 minus 4 over 5. So we convert the mixed fraction into an improper fraction. So we get 5/2 minus 4/5. So here our common denominator is 10. 2 into 10, it's 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 into 10 is 2. 2 times minus 4 is minus 8. Then 25 minus 8, it's 17. So we get 17/10, just inside the brackets. So we now have 3/4 times 17/10. Then we just multiply 3 times 17, and we get 51. 4 times 10, we get 40. Let's move on to part B. 3 pieces of wire of length 36 centimeters, 90 centimeters, and 108 centimeters are cut into equal pieces. Find the greatest length of wire possible if no wire is left over. So here what we just need to do, we just need to find the highest common factor between 36, 90, and 108. So to find the highest common factor, we're going to say 36. Then we divide by the smallest prime number, which is 2. Then we get 18. Divide by the smallest one again, which is 2. Then we get 9. Then we say 3, 3, 3. Okay. Then we do the same for 90. So it's 90 divided by 2, we get 45. Divide by 3, we get 15. Divide by 3, we get 5. Then 5. Then we move on to 108. We divide by 2, we get 54. Then we divide by 3. We divide by 2 again, get 27. Then we divide by 3, we get 9. Divide by 3 again, we get 3. Divide by 3 again, then we get 1. So it's 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Then the other one is 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Then the other one is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. So we are looking for a common factors here. So it's 2, which is common, and also 3 is common. So if we multiply, we get 6. So 6 is our highest common factor there. Then part C, Sarah and Nobuhle shared packets of sweets in the ratio 3:5. Sarah received 60 sweets. Express Nobuhle's share as a percentage of the total number of sweets. So they are sharing in the ratio of 3:5. But already we know that Sarah received 60. Then we want to find the value for Nobuhle. So it's going to be more. So if it's more, it means the bigger number goes on top. So it's 60/3 times 5. 20 times 5, which is 100. So Nobuhle receives 100 sweets. So here, but we want to calculate as a percentage of the total number of sweets. So if Sarah receives 60, Nobushle receives 100. So it means that the total is 160. The total is 160. So to find it as a percentage, we need to say 100 over 160 times 100. So we just cancel the zeros. Here, 2 into this, that's 5. 2 into this, that's 8. Then we punch in the calculator, we simplify. Listen, guys, if you really want to be good at maths, you have to download the best textbook for ZIMSEC and Cambridge in the description link before. I am also going to share a link for past examination papers, green book, blue books for all subjects in the description link below.